Hey guys, this is Anton from Drive Stick Shift Ready, and I'm here today installing the new Redtiger F7NA on my Ford Focus. Two-way smart dash camera with a touch screen. I've had a great experience with Redtiger in the past, so looking forward to this. Let's jump into a pretty straightforward install. Not much to do, but let's go through it detail by detail.
So first of all, we're going to want to figure out power. For me on this Ford, I have another AC outlet back here. And that's where I had my other one powered from. I'm going to have a plug in here. Generally what I like to do is I like to sneak it underneath the floor mat. So if we're starting out from here, I like to just get it snuck under when the seat moves back. The seat will be blocking the majority of it. There we go, just the way I have this floor mat. The way I want to be looking at it is where's going to be the chance that I can hide it the most and have the least amount of problems. My idea is that once it comes out from here, I want it to go into this piece of plastic, and then I'm going to have it go up and into the B pillar and pass through the B pillar. So there will be a little bit of wire, but very minimally. We're talking about just right there. And when the seat moves back, really it shouldn't even be visible. So now we are going from where it's in the floor to this piece of plastic that is going to pry off this door gasket. And this gives me a little bit more accessibility. Just going to snake behind. And just going to draw him out. I already ran it out preliminary to make sure I do have enough length. Now that I have him here on the bottom part of my C-pillar, I'm going to run him along the C-pillar. C-pillar, if we just get the pry tool in there, you have two clips on the top, at least in this Ford. I'm not going to take the C-pillar off all the way. Personally, I prefer not to remove all clips if I don't need to, just less chance that a clip could break, snap. I can pry it back with enough flexibility. So here we have him going through the bottom. And here, just going to pry it back a little bit. And feed our power cable through. And then I'm going to want to keep pulling. Try to make sure it doesn't get tangled in the gasket. Boom. And there we go. Now it's all nice and snuggled up. And now we just can take and run it out the other side. Here we have our power cable coming through. And I want to just sneak him up into the gasket, as you see right there. Now we know that's done. Just going to apply firm pressure, clip all those panels back in. Now currently we have our power cable here at the top. See the slider sit back a little bit. My idea is I'm going to run along the passenger door, then loop it around the top of the A-pillar along the headliner, right to my camera. So now the actual dash camera itself, it has a few different mounting points. I went with the suction one because I do prefer the suction. It makes it easier to take on and off. It has this locking mechanism, and it also swivels on this head, which I found to be very convenient. I have it positioned here, and I'm going to have the wires running up into the headliner. If I'm sitting in the driver's seat, I don't want to have the dash cam in front of my face. I would prefer to have it kind of hidden behind the mirror, but where it still gets good visibility. So from here, if we start to position our... So I think it's even easier if we just pop it off to be plugging it in. Boom, we can plug in the rear camera. And for the rear camera, just want to pry back a little bit of my headliner. I can feel where the headliner starts to connect. I sneak the wire in there. Then I'm going to be running it to my A-pillar. The A-pillar, don't want to peel off all the way just because unnecessary clips. But what I do want to do is I want to get that cable behind the corner of the headliner. So here, if we can see the very edge, the corner of that headliner, we're going to take my pry tool that they provided and sneak it in. Boom. And now again, I'm not really even going through it. I pulled it around the corners and it's just in my headliner now. And now as we go, and pry off my gasket a little bit. Beautiful, just like that.
and I'm feeding it behind the headliner. And for our power cable, we're gonna go the same direction. The power cable just coming up the B pillar. We're gonna hide the power cable behind the headliner. Boom, 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 boom. Pop around that edge just like that. Excellent. And we still do have some spare length. So actually what I want to do now, I'm going to plug this in just to see how much extra I may want to hide and where's going to be the best place to hide it. Oop, that comes right on. Love it. Yeah, we can hide it up here, but again, you have a few options. You can hide it in your A-pillar. Some people are concerned about the airbag being in there. You can hide it in your headliner. Just want to pinch down to figure out how much length we need. And this is going to be our excess. A lot of people underestimate how much space they have up here. Well, we can just hide that in there. All right, now the power side of it is done. Okay, so we already have the rear camera started. We're going to continue running it. Now what we're going to do is we're going to run it along the top of the B pillar. So we have it here. We're going to just pop that gasket back in. All right, so we have the wires hidden right behind this gasket. And here, above all, just be gentle. Pry it off and pry it in. Make sure it doesn't pop up. Feed it in behind the headliner if you can. That's just going to give her a cleaner look. And now we're going to continue the same. So we're going to run along the headliner. You can already kind of guess how this is going to go until we get to the back. There again, just peeling back the gasket, gently feeding it inside. And once we have that position, just gonna put the door gasket back. Forgive a bit of the before and after, got a little occupied, so I took and given one of my pry tools, just pried back the C-pillar a little bit and just snuck in as much of the wire as I could. Then I have it tracing along here and the excess wire, because when it connects to the rear camera, I have it right here. You have a dedicated connection point. So what I did was when I snaked the wire before I connected the rear camera, I had a lot of the excess back here in kind of like the D pillar area, or sorry, the C pillar, just hiding it into there. As even once you connect it to your rear camera, boom, just like that, you still have a ton of length. And really, I see this with all brands. They do that just in case you are running it in a commercial vehicle, right? Let's say you have a van, you have the space to make it the whole run. Now here we're going to trace up, and if we see where it says Redtiger, we want that facing backwards. I believe we can also switch the orientation later on, but it's always nice once you install it to have it pointed in the right direction. What I like to do is I like to position the rear camera and then deal with all the excess. My rear camera is going to go right there. Make sure that when you do put it on, you clean the glass. That's a mistake I made when I peeled off the last rear camera. I peeled it off and I did not clean the glass fully, and that did make adhering a little bit trickier. I had to use, they give you a couple of adhesives in the package, so they do give you a backup in case you find yourself in my situation. Not the end of the world. But if you don't want to find yourself where you got to use all the adhesives right off the bat, just make sure that when you clean your glass, in case you did have a previous dash cam on there, that you just get some rubbing alcohol and you wipe it down clean. That's it. This way it'll adhere better. Try to do it also if you can on a day that is dry, just because if it's going to be humid or you have any condensation on the inside, that will also hinder the adhesive and how well it can adhere. All right, so now we just got to hide this little bit. So I'm just going to use a pry tool to squeeze in those tight areas. Just release this clip a little bit. This allows me to pry back just enough to hide the wire in there. Boom, boom, boom. Right. Clip that back.
I like to go by and just sneak in any wires. When I did get the dash cam, I noticed, well, I mean, it was already written in the ad. It didn't have a SD card. So I just repurposed one for my old dash camera, no problem. I prefer to use the same one as the brand if that's available. SD cards or SD cards, but I've just, over the life of installing dash cameras, I found I have less issues with SD cards corrupting if it is the original SD card for the camera. I don't know if there's some kind of symbiosis there where they speak well together, but we're all done with our install. That's our rear unit. Looks very modest. Nothing too loud. And there's our front unit. We don't see any wires. And she's just gonna be sitting there hanging out. One thing to consider depending upon your car you have, I have a Ford. A Ford does often have fuses still staying on. So one thing I noticed is that I need to be unplugging my dash camera whenever I leave the car, because otherwise, even though it is the AC outlet, should power off, it still gets a charge on it. These mods still get power, so just be mindful of that. Last thing you want to do is find a dead battery in the morning because it's still on when the car is off. But that's more a Ford thing. Looking forward to seeing how this one goes. I had a really positive experience with this Ford and the F7, which I ran in here for forever. Simple, small, high quality, did the job. This is, from what I understand, their new update for the F7. It has a touchscreen on the back. The screen is wider. It also has the smart systems on it. So really expecting great things from it. I'll keep you guys posted.